Welcome back, Wolfpack Verlis here, and this is how to use Ambipom. I'm a fan of Ambipom. I've been using him quite a bit, and I just love this Pokemon. And when you look at the stats, these are some pretty decent stats. Not the best, but we have a very fast Pokemon with 115 base speed. Sure, there are faster Pokemon, but that is a very good speed tier to have. And also 100 attack, not the hardest hitting, but it still puts in quite a bit of work. And that's pretty much what we have. Normal typing on Ambipom, we have that standard, well, I'm just weak against fighting, and everything else kind of doesn't threaten me too much. Ambipom, as we saw from those stats though, it doesn't have a lot of defenses. It's just kind of based off of being that quick, hard-hitting Pokemon. So even some neutral hits are still pretty bad for it, but overall, normal typing, it means it doesn't have to worry about anything that it doesn't need to worry about. So hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we are going to see my favorite set on Ambipom, and that is Fake Out Last Resort. Fake Out Last Resort is just a devastating combo that leads to a ton of damage and a lot of KOs, even with a jolly nature. So I mean, we're not even investing into the attack, we're just kind of putting base damage into there, and we clean up pretty hard because of the way that all of this works. So we're getting a lot of speed on this jolly nature with a full investment. And then we look at Technician. Technician moves of 60 base power or less have a 50% power increase, and that applies to Fake Out. So Fake Out, first hit, first turn only, super amounts of priority, Stab, Technician, Life Orb boost. You're going to be doing surprising amounts of damage. I've seen Fake Out do like up to half on neutral hits on some Pokemon, and then you just kind of keep calculating that damage. Last Resort is going to be absurd amounts of damage. 140 base power to begin with, and then we just go and add Stab and Life Orb, and now this is a pretty solid neutral KO on almost any Pokemon. So it's just ridiculous damage. And then when we look at it, even on resisted hits, that if the Pokemon resists it, that's only half, so it's going to take at least half of its hit points on a lot of resisted hits. And if we keep looking at the damage even more, I mean, let's pull up a level 100 Ambipom. I just had level 50 to show that the 4 hit point investment makes it to where you still have an odd amount of hit points, so you are safe from Stealth Rocks, and it's just going to be something to compare for speed tiers at level 50. So at level 100, I mean, you're always going to want to run Jolly Nature on Ambipom. So let's just do some quick little math here. 299. Well, Adamant Talonflame has less attack. So, I mean, if we pull that up, 261 turns into 287. So, I mean, that Last Resort is going to have higher base power, much higher base power. So, I mean, we're looking at something that outpaces Choice Band and Talonflame on damage by just a bit. Sure, it doesn't have the priority, but that's Ambipom's comparable damage. So, it hits pretty hard. Now, if you want to go for more coverage, Ambipom has that. Naturally, a Pokemon with Fist for Tails gets Elemental Punches. So, I mean, you have Knockoff, Ice Punch, Return, Fake Out. Good. You do that huge amount of Fake Out, you go into the Return, that's a KO right there. Fake Out into Knockoff, that's a KO right there. And then Ice Punch, you just have that for all those pesky Dragon-type Pokemon. And I mean, you just look at all these ridiculous things that come together. Fake Out is just going to lead into so many KOs. Knockoff is ridiculous base damage that adds to your coverage, and it removes an item. So I mean, at the least, Ambipom is going to score a KO. It's going to get some Retribution damage in there, and then it might even remove an item off of a crucial Pokemon. And if you want to play a bit more of a supportive Ambipom, you can do so. That you can take off that Life Orb, you can throw on a Focus Sash. Now Fake Out into whatever, it still has a very high chance of KOing, and you can kind of do whatever. So Fake Out, Return. You outspeed your opponent, you're going to score a KO. Now they're going to want to come in and try to do some Retribution. If you know that you can't directly 2-hit KO that Pokemon, or if they're faster Pokemon, I just like carrying Thunder Wave for that peace of mind. That you Thunder Wave them, you do some damage. Now they're weakened, and they're Thunder Wave, so they've taken damage, they have paralysis, which means the next Pokemon to come in is just going to be able to make great use of that, and they might not even have an item. That Pokemon is not going to be doing anything for the rest of the game, so Ambipom gets an effective 2-for-1, and that's if it's not already scoring KOs from other coverage. Fake Out, Return, that's a KO. Return, Focus Sash Breaks, Return, or Knockoff, Focus Sash Breaks, Return. That's another potential KO right there, and then you Thunder Wave as a last hurrah just to remove as much viability as that final Pokemon coming in has. So Ambipom can be disruptive, it can just do a lot of damage. I like the Fake Out Last Resort combo the best. It's so gimmicky, yet it's an effective gimmick that almost makes it not a gimmick. It's that good. Other than that, Ambipom can run effectively the same in doubles. That you run Fake Out Last Resort for high damage, you run Fake Out coverage with damage, and then you damage and damage. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's how you use Ambipom, and this is a great time to shout out Rising Tide, because he loves Ambipom. That's one of his favorite Pokemon. So go check out his channel. It will be in the description. And if you made it this long, that means you're a dedicated viewer and you're probably going to really like his content. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day.